Are we really alone in the universe? Take a moment and think about this. Everything you have ever known, every person, every animal, every mountain, every ocean, every city, every country, and every moment in human history exists on a tiny planet called Earth. Now imagine zooming out into space. Earth becomes a small dot. Zoom out even further, and our entire solar system becomes almost invisible. Keep going, and you begin to understand just how enormous the universe really is. Scientists estimate that the observable universe is about 90 billion light years across. That number is so large that it is difficult for the human mind to understand. Inside this universe are at least 100 billion galaxies, and each galaxy contains billions or even trillions of stars. For a long time, people wondered whether planets around other stars were rare. Today, we know the answer. They are everywhere. Almost every time astronomers look at a star, there is a good chance they will find planets orbiting around it. This means there may be trillions upon trillions of planets in the universe. Many of these planets may have temperatures similar to Earth. Many may have water. Some may even have oceans, clouds, mountains, and weather systems just like our own world. When you think about these numbers, one question immediately comes to mind. If there are so many planets, shouldn't life exist somewhere else too? And if life is common, then where is everyone? Why haven't we seen aliens? Why hasn't a giant spaceship appeared near Earth? Why hasn't anyone contacted us? The universe is unbelievably huge, but it also seems strangely quiet. To understand this mystery, we first need to focus on a smaller area. Let's forget about the entire universe for a moment and talk only about our own galaxy, the Milky Way. This is the galaxy where Earth is located. The Milky Way is enormous. It contains roughly 400 billion stars. That number is almost impossible to imagine. In fact, there are thousands of stars for every grain of sand on Earth. Among those stars are billions that are very similar to our Sun. Scientists believe that many of these stars have planets orbiting around them. Even more exciting, a large number of those planets may exist in what scientists call the habitable zone. The habitable zone is the perfect distance from a star. Not too hot, not too cold, a place where liquid water can exist. And wherever there is liquid water, there is at least a possibility that life could appear. Now let's be extremely conservative. Imagine that only 1 out of every 1,000 suitable planets actually develops life. That might sound like a tiny number, but because there are so many planets, that would still mean there could be millions of planets with life in our galaxy alone. Millions. Not hundreds, not thousands, millions. And that's where things start becoming very strange, because our galaxy is very old. The Milky Way formed around 13 billion years ago. Earth, on the other hand, is only about 4 billion years old. That means there were planets in our galaxy billions of years before Earth even existed. Think about that. If life started on one of those older planets, it could have had a massive head start. Maybe millions of years, maybe hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of years. Human civilization has existed for only a tiny fraction of Earth's history. Modern technology has existed for just a few hundred years. We went from horse carts to space rockets in an incredibly short period of time. So imagine what a civilization could achieve if it had not hundreds of years, but millions of years to develop. Such a civilization would be far beyond anything we can imagine today. Scientists often classify civilizations based on how much energy they can control. A Type 1 civilization can use nearly all the energy available on its planet. It can control weather, produce enormous amounts of power, and manage planetary resources efficiently. Humanity is not there yet. We are still developing and currently sit below this level. A Type 2 civilization is even more impressive. Instead of controlling only a planet, it controls the energy of an entire star. Imagine capturing all the energy produced by the sun. The amount of power would be almost unimaginable. One proposed idea is called a Dyson sphere. This would be a giant structure built around a star to collect its energy. It sounds like science fiction today, but according to physics, it may be possible. Then comes the most incredible level, a Type 3 civilization. This civilization would control the energy of an entire galaxy, not a planet, not a star, an entire galaxy. Compared to such beings, humanity would look like ants trying to understand modern computers. Their technology might appear magical to us. Now think about this. If even one civilization reached that level, shouldn't we be able to see evidence of it? Shouldn't we notice giant structures around stars? Shouldn't we detect unusual signals? Shouldn't there be some sign that somebody is out there? but we see nothing. And this creates one of the biggest mysteries in science. This mystery is called the Fermi Paradox. The question is simple. If intelligent life should be common in the universe, then where is everybody? No one knows the answer, but scientists have proposed several possibilities. One possibility is that intelligent life is extremely rare. Maybe creating simple life is already very difficult. Scientists still don't fully understand how life began on Earth. We know life exists, but we don't know exactly how non-living chemicals turned into living organisms. Perhaps that step is so unlikely that it almost never happens. Maybe billions of planets exist, but most remain lifeless forever. Another possibility is that simple life is common, but complex life is rare. Perhaps tiny bacteria exist on countless planets, but animals, plants, and intelligent beings are much harder to produce. Maybe Earth was incredibly lucky. Maybe a long chain of unlikely events had to happen perfectly for humans to appear. If even one of those events had gone differently, we might not be here today. There is also a much darker possibility. Maybe there is something called a great filter. A great filter is a barrier that almost every civilization fails to overcome. Maybe civilizations discover powerful technologies and accidentally destroy themselves. Maybe they create weapons that become too dangerous. Maybe they damage their environment beyond repair. Maybe they develop artificial intelligence that they can no longer control. If this is true, then advanced civilizations may appear all over the galaxy, but disappear before they can spread among the stars. And that raises a frightening question. Has humanity already passed the Great Filter? Or is it still waiting for us in the future? No one knows. Some people imagine an even scarier possibility. What if advanced civilizations already exist? What if they are watching? Perhaps they stay hidden. Perhaps they observe younger civilizations from a distance. Or perhaps they remove any civilization that becomes too powerful. There is absolutely no evidence for this idea, but the universe is so large that we cannot completely rule it out. Still, there is one final possibility. Maybe we are alone. Right now, despite decades of searching, we have not found confirmed evidence of life anywhere else. No alien signals, no alien ships, no alien cities, nothing. Only silence. And if that silence is real, then life on Earth may be more valuable than we can imagine. Because if we truly are alone, then every living thing we know may represent something incredibly rare. Perhaps life is the most precious thing in the universe. If that is true, then humanity has an important responsibility. We must protect life. We must preserve our planet. And one day, we may need to carry life beyond Earth and into the stars. Because a universe this vast, this beautiful, and this mysterious deserves to be explored. And maybe one day, somewhere among the stars, we will finally discover the answer to the question that humans have been asking for generations. Are we alone? Or is someone else out there looking up at the sky and wondering exactly the same thing?